You know, we all remember Ozzie Ossenkop, what a legendary name that was, and all the great choirs. This evening, we're delighted to have a branch of that here this evening, and so I'd like at this time to introduce our choir. And Randy, where's Randy? Where's our choir? Here they come now. Randy, come on up, everybody. Randy Parsons.
We're glad to be here tonight. How many of you are here tonight? Let me just get a quick response. Raise your hand if you're here tonight, okay? Thanks, that's a great participation. That's enough for us to start and do our program. You know, it's kind of amazing. I passed somebody in the hall and they said, "Hey Bob, how you doing?" It really wasn't Bob, I changed his name. He said, "You know, I can't hardly walk anymore. I have to use a crutch, and I can't see very well. I can barely see out to the mailbox, and sometimes I don't know if the flag's up or flag down. This arm doesn't work so much anymore after my stroke." But he said, "Thank goodness I can still drive here tonight." So I think sometimes we're in that position. We're glad you're here. We're thrilled to be able to sing for you. There's a kind of a little write-up about our choir on your table near the centerpiece. Have one, pass them around. We're always looking for choir members, and I'll tell you more about that, how you can audition and qualify and be in this choir. Well, really, the audition part's not that bad. All of this bunch auditioned, but it was for Ozzie 50, 60 years ago. So once you audition for him, you're in the choir. So we're thrilled to death.
We sang it a lot faster when we were 18, though, I'll tell you. My name is Mike Ossenkop, and I'd like to introduce my sister, Nikki Carter, wave your hand there, and her husband, Steve, over on my far left. They came all the way from Texas to be here with us this evening. And I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Debbie Knight. She's a former Miss Oklahoma. It's now Debbie Ossenkop. She went to Grant. Raise your hand, Debbie. Most of you knew my father. For 22 years, he directed the Capitol Hill High School concert choir. Dad was a veteran, a gifted musician, a dedicated Christ follower, a proud American, and he had a gift of mentoring high school students, not only in music, but in life. The concert choirs Dad directed performed throughout the United States and Canada, bringing accolades to CHHS. Today we have more than 40 members that have sung with Dad, either at Capitol Hill or one of his many church choirs. This evening, we hope you enjoy listening to us sing as much as we enjoy singing and remembering Ozzie and what he still means to all of us. And with further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Ozzie's Capitol Hill Alumni Choir under the direction of Randy Parsons.
Are you still there? One of the traditions at Capitol Hill at graduation was the singing of the next song we're about to do. Picture this if you can. Ozzie, right out of World War II, was in the Navy, finished his education, came to Capitol Hill in 1951, did his student teaching under Henry Foth. Henry Foth became Dr. Henry Foth, and he was over all the music programs of all the schools in Oklahoma City Public Schools. And Ozzie, as a brand new teacher, took his place at Capitol Hill's second semester. One of our choir members was in Ozzie's last choir in the early 70s. Her mother was in Ozzie's first choir in 1951. Pretty cool. But here's what I want you to get. This next song may actually be one of the most patriotic songs we've ever had, but I don't know that we realize its significance as a patriotic song. It was first introduced as a part of a Broadway musical, carousel. In the spring of 1945, less than a month before Nazi Germany withdrew and surrendered and began the end of World War II. This song was introduced. It became one of the most popular songs of its day. And Ozzie began using it in 1951 and used it at every graduation all those 22 years. You'll never walk alone. The good Lord said to Joshua, when Moses stepped down and Joshua took the leadership, I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Don't you know that this veteran knew during war times, Korea War, Vietnam, and also during peace times, that many of the students who would graduate from Capitol Hill any given year would be going to the service. Many would be impacted by the days ahead. We thought we knew a lot, didn't we, when we were in high school? And yet there was a lot yet to learn. He wanted this message clear: you'll never walk alone. Listen to it. same arrangements, the very, very same notes that we learned all those years ago. We're also very fortunate in that our accompanist was our high school accompanist many years ago. And obviously, playing the piano does not age you, so we're very grateful for Kathy Gramling Perkins, who is our accompanist and was our accompanist in high school. Last year, this choir sang for you under the direction of my assistant director, Susan Pappas-Harrington. Susan, wave to everybody. She took the reins last year. I need to be off for a little medical leave of absence, and Susan, I rely on you tremendously, and thank you so much for all you do for us. I would want you to know that now that we've been here 2 years in a row, I think this is a tradition. Tradition. And by the way, thanks for the free meal. That was really great too. We appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding about this. What are we doing next? Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Wow, that was fantastic, Randy. Hey, give me chills. You know what? Ozzie was listening to that, and I'm going to tell you what, he couldn't be proud of you guys. And we appreciate all your time and effort. And for sure, one thing you said, you will be part of the program from now on. So thanks again. Let's give a big hand. You know, put on an event like this, it takes not a village, but a whole county.